the performances prior to that were just kind of carrying over into training, which was excellent. Our players who were away with their national teams are all coming home. The last one today are back here. No injuries to report. All healthy and successful. So that's all good news. Yeah, training has been sharp, and we would love to pick up where we left off.
What did you do so well in Vancouver earlier in the season that you think may translate to this match? Obviously, it's been a difficult place for LAFC to go the last few years.
I'm not one for going further back. You know that. I think you have to look at every game individually. If you look at each lineup that we put out, every game has its own story. So I don't want to generalize and say we struggle there. I think you need to really look at who played and why did we try certain things or play different lineups, and also the opponent. So this is much different than that beginning of the season. They've been consistently in a different formation and been quite effective and good in this newer formation. Have added a new few players. So this game has nothing to do with what we saw during the Champions League there. And we expect a different performance from Vancouver, and we'll need a better performance from us.
I could ask one more on Denis. You made it clear you didn't understand or know how the MVP process worked in the voting, and it's all convoluted. We don't have to get into it. But for the LAFC, is Denis Bouanga the team MVP this year, considering what he's done? How would you view him in terms of his contributions for LAFC?
I think he's a very important player amongst others. I don't think I would do this group justice to point out one player, and I won't do that.
Even though it seems like if he doesn't score, you guys didn't score over long periods. I mean, he had direct input and an influence over results. You don't feel that way.
I think if you look over the past 6 years of this organization's existence, the one thing that's been consistent is scoring goals, regardless of the player.
Just to follow up on that, Danny Blanca finishes the golden boot, which is straightforward. Whoever has the most goals wins it. That'd be the third time in 6 years, three different players for LAFC. Just to further emphasize what you said about how the club scores goals. I guess that symmetry between scoring goals and winning games.
Yeah, I think also the interesting fact there, just to kind of go off of what you mentioned, all three of those players are playing in a winger position, so that does speak for, our game model, our idea of how to score goals and to attack defenses. I'm not sure that's been replicated anywhere else, and that's pretty cool.
Question about Kike Oliveira, who obviously has been excelling here with you guys, playing important minutes. He goes to Uruguay and plays a whole second half in an important game against Colombia. Marcelo Bielsa's coach, he came. Have you ever any sort of discourse about where he is and how he is ready to take that next step on the international level, which it seems like he's starting to hit?
Well, we would prefer for him to take those steps here with us, those progression in his game, and I think for him, a younger attacker, we all see his ability, we all see his potential. I think he is still connecting dots as far as productivity goes. And we would love for that to happen with LAFC first before Uruguay reaps the benefits.
You like those guys to stay here, but when you see the guys go out and play as opposed to not play or score goals, and in Daniil's case, I mean, as a club, how is that?
No, I'm not saying I want guys to stay here. I think it's great they go play for the national teams, and we support every national team and every cap a player can get at the under 21 level for Stipe or with Tony Leone, Christian Torres. We have a number of players who have been away with youth national teams as well. So we support all of the national teams. My point was I would prefer Kike because of the number of games he can play with his club compared to country. You play more for your club. That he improves in productivity here first before country.
But you're happy when you see that they do well, obviously.
Yeah, it's great. Having been through that myself as a player, I understand. I think the dynamic and the feeling you get of traveling and with your countrymen and playing for your country, and then being successful and going back to your club and bringing that confidence back home is a special part of our game, and doesn't really happen to many other sports. And so, it's great to see.
Quick thought: did you watch the USA games? Your reaction to how they performed in those two?
I was forced to watch the USA-Germany game at home. We're a split household, so I did not catch the USA-Ghana game. Obviously, the results and the highlights, but I didn't see the 90 minutes in its entirety, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, I think the German team seemed like they're a little more experienced in the day and took advantage of the mistakes better than we did.